Did you notice what just transpired? Chaos and a frenzy are being caused by Caitlin Clark's retirement from Jersey. Beyond her amazing NCAA career, things get really fascinating because there's another basketball great involved, and her supporters are going crazy. You won't believe how this double retirement is tearing up basketball Twitter. WNBA powerhouse A.A. Wilson is also retiring her jersey on February 2nd. Can you believe it's the same day as Clark? Everyone is wondering what's going on here. Is this some sort of cosmic basketball coincidence or a clash of titans?
Every single one of us knows that is what's going to happen on the 2nd of February, is that Caitlin Clark fans are going to be celebrating Caitlin Clark, A'ja Wilson fans are going to be screaming, look at A'ja, look at A'ja, look at A'ja.
Let's pause for a bit and look back. The days when women's collegiate basketball was merely a passing fad in athletics are long gone. Jaws dropped in record books and tatters from her freshman year when Caitlin Clark, the Iowa Phenom EXP, arrived on the scene. Clark wasn't just playing, she was reinventing the game and shattering records that had been set for decades. Triple-doubles became her signature, and 30 to 40-point games were a regular occurrence each season. Her shooting range, passing, and court vision enhanced the image, and the arenas were packed to capacity, with every seat occupied and all eyes focused on number 22, the Caitlin Clark effect, where games that once drew a few hundred people suddenly had thousands vying for tickets. Critics and admirers were astounded by Clark's playwriting. In a sport full of legends, Clark became the all-time leading scorer in NCAA basketball history by breaking both men's and women's records with a three-pointer from half-court 1 second and a no-look pass for an easy layup the next. As if breaking their records wasn't enough, Clark went on to smash 62 WNBA records, further confirming her status as one of the greatest in the history of the league. There's no better way to recognize her amazing career than with a well-earned jersey retirement. It pays respect to a player who has made a lasting impact on the game. Here is the true flex as Iowa prepares to retire Caitlin Clark's famous number 22 jersey at Carver Hawkeye Arena on February 22, 2025. Player power on a whole new level. Her tickets are more attractive than those of any WNBA player, including Sabrina A.A. Wilson and even Angel Reese.
So obviously, they are going to retire number 22's jersey on 2.2.
2.2. How ridiculously expensive are the tickets for this game? The cost of one seat is $88,000. That exceeds the cost of some NBA Finals tickets. It's amazing that a collegiate women's basketball game is outstripping the greatest platform in professional men's basketball.
But I can tell you right now, if somebody wants these seats right here to see Caitlin Clark, they're going to have to pay $8,325.
Everyone is eager to pay extra to see Clark's jersey take its place on the rafter, even if the cheapest seat in the house costs more than $500 more than most people would spend on a season's worth of tickets for their beloved team.
And I just showed you on StubHub, the cheapest seat is $522. The most expensive is $8,025. Man, that's pretty unbelievable. Seriously.
You're probably wondering if this is real because fans are scurrying for tickets like it's the stock market. But for Caitlin Clark, the game isn't even until February 2nd, 2025, more than a year away, and already people are in a frenzy. Just think of the chaos as the date approaches, as one fan put it so well on social media.
Caitlin Clark really put Iowa on the map with a historic college.
This is all about seeing the past. According to some analysts, Caitlin Clark's influence on women's basketball rivals Michael Jordan plays in the NBA, which is fantastic. Here's where it gets interesting. Sport Pro named her the 4th most marketable athlete in the world. She isn't just playing the game. She is reinventing it entirely. Clark's retirement from the jersey is inspiring more than just school spirit. Iowa's choice to commemorate her on February 2nd, which was scheduled months in advance, has unpredictably led to a matchup with another basketball legend.
They saw the jersey up there. It was in there. It was like with the jerseys, just hadn't been taken down yet. So everyone knew, oh, it's this season, So obviously it's going to be 2.2. Why wouldn't it be? Because, why would it not be 2.2? Because she wears number 22. But it just so happens that there is another number 22.
It turns out that both guys wore number 22, and South Carolina chose the same day to retire A.O. Wilson's jersey. What a coincidence.
So Age is getting her jersey retired. Why were they retired? Because they both wore number 22. Sums up the fan base. Here's your... Like, my favorite thing is where it's like, okay, other side of the country, two different arenas. Why would it make any difference? They both wore the number 22, and both were on like 2.2.
2.2, let's face it. Even if the dates are the same, they are in separate cities. One in Iowa, the other in North Carolina. So why the needless commotion?
My favorite thing is where it's like, okay, other side of the country, two different arenas. Why would it make any difference? They both wore the number 22, and both were on like 2.2.
Fans are taking sides, and there are a lot of comments on social media. One fan even said on Twitter that it's about paying respect to AA, who wore number 22 before Caitlyn, so why not wait until February 22nd to retire it? However, I suppose we can't expect the college or the WNBA to show respect for those who paved the way. It's not just the date that's igniting the fire, and Wilson isn't the first player to wear number 22, like Christy Sides and Stephanie White, who also rock the iconic number. The problem is that North Carolina and Iowa are so far apart, so why is this even creating a stir? Wilson's game tickets are only $64 while Clark's are soaring over $11,000. It's understandable why folks are fussing over a rookie ticket costing more than an MVP's.
But it is a funny to crash it, and obviously tickets for Age's game being $64 and tickets for Caitlyn's game being $1,000 entry fee is hilarious too.
While some supporters of Iowa claim they have been preparing for months, others believe South Carolina is attempting to steal Clark's thunder. Everyone is wondering whether this will develop into a full-fledged fight between two legends, since it resembles a basketball soap opera. The problem is that, on Jersey Retirement Day, I'm fairly certain that Ozza Wilson supporters will be disparaging Clark the entire time. It's difficult for them to have their top player, who has repeatedly shown herself, be eclipsed by a rookie who receives more attention and hype.
That is what's going to happen on the 2nd of February, is that Caitlyn Clark fans are going to be celebrating Caitlyn Clark, A'ja Wilson fans are going to be screaming, look at A'ja, look at A'ja, look at A'ja. And I think A'ja Wilson will do a look at me. I will stand by that.
Just when you thought there was no more thrilling college basketball for women, it seems like history is repeating itself, but with a new face and a new set of moves. This is where things get really interesting on the day Iowa is retiring, as Juju Watkins crashes the party. This USC freshman is blazing the basketball world on fire with her incredible skills. The jersey of Clark when Watkins and USC visit the city, the atmosphere in the arena will be electrifying. Everyone is speculating about Watkins being the next big thing, but let's face it, Clark's accomplishments are extraordinary. Juju Watkins has been attempting to emulate Clark's style, gameplay, and everything else in an effort to compete with him. But let's face it, Watkins would have to average 50 points a game to match Clark's scoring, which is nearly impossible. 2-number TWS in a single day, and a lot of drama. The retiring of Caitlyn Clark's jersey is a significant milestone for women's sports and goes beyond a simple ceremony. How is it possible for one athlete to have such a profound impact on the basketball world? Clark changed the way people watched women's sports in addition to playing hoops. TV viewership skyrocketed. Everyone was talking about the WNBA when social media blew up, but with all that attention came detractors who believed she was overhyped and others who said she was negatively altering the game.
But it's also acknowledgement that Caitlyn Clark is the golden goose. She's the cash cow. And wherever she goes, ratings follow. The WNBA draft, the doubleheader, the open NBA season, ratings. I'm going to remind y'all that in the 28-year history of the WNBA, only 9 players in the league's history have eclipsed on-court earnings of $1 million.
However, this is where things start to get interesting. The impact of Clark Go's method. She is motivating a whole new generation of players in addition to her stats. In schools around the nation, young girls are taking to the courts with the aspiration of being the next big thing. The number of girls basketball players signing up is skyrocketing, and coaches are saying their young players are more committed and enthusiastic than ever. As we look to the future, It's evident that women's basketball will never be the same after Caitlin Clark. Her long-range shooting and creative passing are being incorporated into training programs at all levels, and it's as though she's rewriting the basketball playbook in real time. You may be wondering if anyone in college basketball, men's or women's, can have the same kind of impact as Clark. It's not just about the points or assists, though. February 2nd isn't just another day in sports history. It's the day we honor a player who took on obstacles head-on and motivated a generation that is the true game changer. The energy in the arenas, the media coverage, the excitement, it's all changed. She didn't just play basketball. She revolutionized it. Two basketball greats, Caitlin Clark and A.J. Wilson, will have their jerseys retired on February 2nd, which is set to be a historic day for women's basketball. This event highlights how far the sport has come. Clark's influence on the game extends beyond her remarkable numbers. What are your plans for February 2nd? Whether you're watching Clark's ceremony, Wilson's big moment, or trying to catch both, you're in for a treat. This day is more than just jersey retirements. It's a celebration of women's basketball and how it's captured the hearts of fans everywhere. Remember when women's college basketball barely made headlines? Clark changed that. Her performances turned heads and got people talking about the sport like never before.